Hey everyone, welcome to another quick deck tech from Modern. Today, Grixis Shredder Delver. As you know, Ledger Shredder is hitting the format, or many formats, by storm. Yeah, that sounded right? Yes, it did. Well, we can tell just by the fact that his price keeps going up and up and up. I'm happy I already got mine before they went any higher. Last week or a week before, I released a deck tech Temur Shredder Delver, and there's going to be another Temur Shredder Delirium deck tech coming out soon. But I said, you know what, let's start shifting colors. I want to try Ledger Shredder and a bunch of other color combinations. So here we go, Grixis. This is a quick deck tech. I didn't go all the way in with this deck yet and put in, 50, 100 matches in with it, but I'm confident enough that it has some potential, so I'd love to hear from you what changes you would make to it in the comment section down below. But before we get to the list and all that fun stuff, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell and even that like button. Those 3 clicks go a really long way in supporting the channel. I would really appreciate it. So alright, let's get to the list. So those of you who have been watching my videos long enough know I have a pretty set shell for a lot of my tempo decks or a lot of my Delver decks in general. So the lands you're going to see is pretty much templated at this point. The lands work. This works. It's worked for me for years and years and years and years and years, and I'll probably never change this land template unless they print something better than shocks or fetches, basically. So lands are the lands. For my Grixis shell, I, for the hell of it, wanted creatures that all flew. I wanted all flyers, so that's what I got. I mean, Delver Secrets flips into a flyer, Dragon's Rich Channeler becomes a flyer, and of course Ledger Shredder and Murktide Regent are flyers in nature. And I just like the idea of having all my threats being up in the air. I don't have Tarmogoyf here because there's no access to green, so meh. Figured might as well have some fun some other way. So being all up in the air with all your creatures is definitely going to keep your opponents on edge, and I like that, of course. The rest of the spell package here is pretty standard with your removal. It's actually pretty removal heavy, which is what I'd like to have anyway. Something I'm not running in this list, which actually made it much cheaper than a lot of my other Delver decks, is I'm not playing Force of Negation. I didn't find room for it. Of course, you could make room for it. You could, for example, cut out Kato, 2 copies of that to play Force of Negation if you really want to, but I wanted to play Grixis without Force of Negation, which hurt. I'm going to be honest, it hurt deep down inside. But I wanted to make room for Inquisition of Kozilek and Fatal Push and Dreadbore, there's just only so many slots you can fill up. But again, you can cut, 1 or 2 Inquisitions or both Kaidos and play a full playset of Force of Negations if you really want to. It'll work. So, as I said with my, getting to the synergies, as I've said with my Temur Shredder Delver list, Ledger Shredder was completely overlooked by me, and I guess by others at this point. I completely dismissed it because I figured, well, 2 mana, 1/3 flyer was just not sufficient for Modern. Completely underestimated Connive, and yeah, you do not need to play 0-cost spells to make Ledger Shredder a big boy. Okay, and keep in mind, it's not just you playing spells, it's your opponent playing spells. And you could also play Ledger Shredder on turn 3 and play another spell, and boom, it's already a 2/4. So Ledger Shredder just becomes a big boy really quickly and becomes a severe problem for your opponent. Even if it's not really going to be a combat threat, you are drawing, discarding, helping, build your Delirium or helping pay for Delve and getting to the cards that you need. And in tempo decks, that's especially in tempo decks, that is a really important mechanic to get down. And Ledger Shredder completely enables that. This is why, again, with this deck and the other decks I'll be deck teching soon with Ledger Shredder, I'm becoming more and more convinced that Ledger Shredder might become a mainstay in modern in general, I'm sure, but in particular modern tempo decks, because it has such a critical role in helping you filter out cards and get to the cards that you need as quickly as possible. So you have a whole bunch of spells that help you enable that. And something I wanted to give a shot in this Grixis list is Kato, a recently printed Planeswalker. I just think that its abilities are pretty cool. Let's read through it because it's not a Planeswalker that you see often. At the beginning of your end step, if Kato's Shizuki entered the battlefield this turn, he faces out. Okay, cool. So it kind of has like some pseudo protection built in. Draw a card. Well, its first +1 is draw a card and discard a card unless you attack this turn. So that's pretty cool because you might not be slamming this down turn 3, but if you are, you could probably attack in first with a Ledger Shredder or Delver Secrets or whatever, and then just draw a card. Boom. Just draw a card. No problem. Without having to discard, which is always nice, and you could pretty much do that every turn as long as you keep applying pressure, which is fantastic. It's -2 is create a 1/1 blue ninja creature token with this creature can't be blocked, which is fine. If you really need a creature or something to chump block with, this might be just the card you need when you draw it. The -7 is not really something you're aiming for, but you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So, I mean, this is a nice way to get more Ledger Shredders or Delvers, or technically even a Murktide Regent, though it would be a pretty small one. But you're not really aiming for this. Your ideal every turn is going to be the +1 it. And if you really are short on threats, you can -2 to get an extra threat. That's really what you want to keep doing. So I want to give it a shot. I've liked it so far. And that's it for Grixis Shredder Delver. Of course, this was a quick deck tech, so no matches and no deeper analysis. But like I said, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more Ledger Shredder coming to this channel because I'm falling in love with this card quite quickly. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this deck, what you would change about it. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. Those few clicks go a really long way in helping others find my content and helps my channel grow. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook, share my content on social media. That also helps others find their way to my videos and spreads the word even further. And of course, if you like making money, check out my Patreon page. The link is in the description of this video. In particular, check out the Patreon Rewards program. Basically works like this. You give me your Patreon dollars every month. I buy and open up sealed product on this channel using those dollars. And I send you back that money at the end of every year in the form of rares and mythics. You get one non-bulk rare or mythic for every consecutive month you've been a patron, and every card is worth anywhere between $3 and $15. But I mean, even if you lowball it at an average of $5 per card, you're at the very least getting your money back, but odds are you're getting even more. There are a lot more details on my Patreon page, so check it out. Thanks and have a good one.